First of all, it's something that I'm very, very proud of because not only because of Osage, but equally important, if not more importantly, it was designed by my father. And Dad was friends with many of the Osage people, him being Osage himself. And he said that Chief Pitts come to him one day or one evening and asked him that he wanted him to create a flag for the Osage tribe. When you reflect back on who you are as an Osage and living a traditional life and you're culturally inclined, it's not that difficult to figure out which aspects of it mean a lot to the Osage people as a whole. And I think that he reached back on those experiences. And having been raised here, most of his entire life, for me, looking at that, you look at the elements that are contained on that flag. First of all, the vibrant blue colors that stand out, I can look out this window and see the sky blue today. And most days, it's beautiful. There's no other color like it. The shield, the background of it, the protective factor that the shield brought to many of our people whenever they were warring back in years ago. The peace pipe, friendship, being able to sit down and share something with somebody and talking to them, that connection, that connectedness with another person. The eagle, the fan. The golden eagle is the bird that flies the highest in the sky, closest to the sun. And I think that was one of the reasons why Dad chose that eagle, the fan, because what it represented to not only the Osage people, but to many tribal peoples throughout the United States.
This flag that we have planted here represents our community and our tribe.
Our people have always been of the mind to give something that's personal and close to you. That shows not only respect for that person, but it gives you personal honor when you do that. I noticed that there was a story that the historian wrote down back in the 1800s where an Osage was carrying an animal, a deer or something he killed, and this other Osage said, hey, I need that, I like that. And that Osage just took that deer and gave it to him, turned around, went out and got another one. And that's our part of our culture. And that's how you show you're someone to respect, is to give away to others what you have. So when we give these flags to someone like an athlete, saying, hey, I'm Osage, I like to carry that Osage flag when I'm running a marathon, or if I'm in an Ironman contest, or in a boxing match, or the more modern type contest, we're glad to do that. So when the Department of Energy wanted to have that same receipt of that gift, we're careful, we just don't hand it to anybody. But we know some people in the Department of Energy, and we gladly want to forward that to them, and they can place it in somewhere where people can show respect to it. We know they will, so we're going to give that to them.
What is known now as Osage Reservation or Osage Country, and we had one of our tribal leaders, his name was Wataika, and he seen a prophecy here, and he seen something coming out of the ground here, and it was black. And that was the only way he could kind of talk about it, describe it, and lo and behold, it was oil. And so like we say, we're an energy-driven community here off of oil and gas. And like Chief stated earlier, that we're looking at other avenues. Now we're into solar, into the digital world. And those are the things that we're going to have to look at to try to, to enhance our economic development.
We need feasibility studies, we need engineering, all of that to determine what's the best course for us in this energy resource world to use for our well-being. And now we know how we have a responsibility when we do to the whole planet. We're all learning that. So we need the Department of Interior and the Department of Energy to do what they've started doing now, working together. And the Department of Interior and Department of Energy have these capabilities, and we need to keep those doors open and communicate and learn, and then build something for ourselves, because I'm all about self-sufficiency.